I understand how daunting it can seem when you are thinking about upsizing into a new home. You have outgrown your current place and know that you need to make a change, but it can be so confusing when you don't understand all of the moving pieces and costs. You might be wondering, how is this process going to affect my current lifestyle? Or will you be able to find the right house? Or how are you going to be able to navigate this complicated process? I know it can seem scary when you are charting into unknown territory, but me and my team have successfully navigated tons of deals with trade-up homeowners while selling their current house and moving them into their new place. Hi, I'm Robert Webb, team leader of the Destination DNJ Home Selling Team. I'm here to help you navigate all things real estate, specifically focused on helping our clients with buying, selling, and living in the heart of NJ, North and Central New Jersey. And today, I'm going to help you better understand the first steps in this upsizing process so that you can start organizing your thoughts about your upcoming move and don't have to be afraid about taking that next action. I want to help you get into that larger home with the amenities that your current situation is lacking and not feel stuck in the process or overwhelmed, and ultimately get a clear picture of the first steps of selling your current home and upsizing and buying that new one. Before we hop into it, if you could give this video a like, it helps me get this free information to more people. I would really appreciate it. And if you are thinking about buying or selling in the near future, make sure you subscribe. We are putting out 2 videos every single week on all things buying, selling, and living in North and Central New Jersey, and I don't want you to miss any of it. Now, let's get into it. The first step is to start assembling your team. So many people don't want to bring their professional team in because they think it is way too early in the process. And I think that can be a massive mistake. When I talk about your professional team, I'm talking about your realtor, your lender, if you plan on getting a mortgage on the next place, your attorney, and your CPA. Your realtor and lender are going to be able to help you tremendously with these next steps I talk about, and they are always looking to build their future pipeline. They are going to be more than happy to hear from you the earlier in the process and can be instrumental in your success. So don't think you are bothering them. It is mutually beneficial. You get advice and guidance and expertise early on, and they get to plan their future clients accordingly. Doing this in advance also allows you to make sure that you have the right people on your team. Just because every realtor and lender is licensed does not make all of them equal. Certain professionals are leaps and bounds ahead of others, and this is your time to make sure that you are assembling the A-team for your success. If you want to learn more about choosing the right realtor, I have a video on that, and I'm going to leave it down below in the comments and the description for you to check out after this one's over. You also want to loop in your CPA early as well so that they can help you plan for any potential taxable events and guide you on where to pull money from and which accounts you should beef up. This one might not apply to everyone. If you have 100% of your down payment for your next home sitting in the bank and don't have any considerable appreciation in your current home, then this one, the CPA, might not be as important for you. But if your money is moving to and from different accounts, brokerages, crypto, etc., and you have some massive appreciation in your current home, then it can be extremely beneficial to start that conversation with your CPA early. Next up, you are going to want to speak with your lender. This might be the most important of the first steps you can do, because you and your lender are going to need to discuss whether you are going to be what's called home sale contingent or not home sale contingent when it comes to buying your next home. And that is going to greatly impact the plan and your timeline. Lenders are looking at a lot of things, but we are going to focus on 2 of them for this topic. The first one being, where are you getting your down payment funds from? And the second being, how much debt can your household afford at this given point in time? So getting back to contingent or not contingent, let's take a look at what that actually means. If you are a home sale contingent buyer, it means that you must sell your current home first in order to buy that next one. This is for the two main reasons we just discussed before: down payment funds and household debt. If your house has appreciated considerably, or you put a very large down payment in your current home, or both, you may need the equity that is in your current home to be able to buy that next home. For example, if you have a $350,000 starter home and you have $100,000 in equity and you plan to use that money as your down payment for the $650,000 home that you are upsizing to, then the lender is going to want you to have that money in your account in order for you to use it as a down payment. And the main way to do that is to sell your home and capture that equity into your bank account. Or let's just say that you have your down payment already saved up, sitting in your bank, but then your lender runs your numbers and finds out that you cannot afford the debt of two mortgages at the same time. Then they are going to need you to get rid of one of those payments in the form of selling your current home to free up space for that new mortgage payment. For example, if you're currently paying $2,000 a month on your current mortgage and that new home is going to be $3,500 a month, well, you don't have enough household income to support a $5,500 a month payment, then your lender is going to need you to get rid of that first $2,000 a month payment to qualify you for that new $3,500 a month mortgage. Now, the good news is that you don't need to sell your house and wait months in limbo to be able to buy your next home. You are able to literally sell your home and buy the new one on the same exact day. But that comes down to timing and planning, which is why going back to my first point of getting your team involved early can be super beneficial to your success. So while this adds a few layers of complexity to your move, it happens all the time and it is not the end of the world. But getting ahead of it and understanding it is going to be critical to your move. It just means that we need to do a tighter job of listing your home for sale when you have a good idea that you know what you're looking for and that we are confident that we'll be able to execute on that new house and align the closings accordingly. Now, the other and easier option is that you have your down payment money outside of your current home's equity and you have the ability to absorb two mortgage payments with your household income, and that would make you a non-contingent buyer. This is preferable because it gives you some breathing room on the timeline and allows you more flexibility with your options. It allows you to focus on the sale of your current home only after you've identified that new home that you've gotten into escrow. Now, it doesn't mean that you're gonna have two mortgage payments for months and months and months while you're only using one of the homes. It just means that we don't have to start the listing process until we are already underway on the sale process. But it doesn't mean that we still don't do a bunch of prep work beforehand. We might look to list your home and choose a closing date that is 2 weeks past your purchase of your new home to give you ample time to paint the new house first, move in smoothly, and make it a little bit less stressful. Or if none of that is appealing to you, we can still look to line the closings up on the same exact day, just like in the contingent example. But the point is that you have options and that should hopefully be a little bit less stressful. Not to mention that speaking with your lender early is going to give you a very clear idea of the budget that you're going to have to work within as you look for that next house. Which leads me nicely to my third step, which is setting up your crystal clear criteria. What is really nice about a trade-up buyer compared with a first-time home buyer is that you have already lived in this home and seen what amenities you thought you would use and didn't, and which ones that you wish you had now that you've been in your current home for X amount of years. You are going to have developed a lifestyle in your current home, and you're going to be looking to find the trade-up house to enhance your lifestyle even more so. This is going to allow you to get a very clear idea on what you want next and what you don't care about as much that you maybe thought you did with the first time around. For example, when you bought your first home, you may not have needed a garage. You had an older car, you didn't care about it being outside versus inside, and you didn't have a lot of stuff that you were bringing in from your old apartment. But fast forward 5 years and maybe you got that nicer car and maybe your family expanded and more stuff came into your home and that garage has basically become a must-have in the new place. You are going to be able to see past the noise of homes that don't have a garage and thus don't fit your criteria better than someone that hasn't had those experiences yet. And because you are planning ahead, you are going to be able to put some thought into that crystal clear criteria, which I define as budget, which you just got from your lender, how many beds you need, how many bathrooms you need, which towns and communities are you going to buy in, what style of home do you want, such as a single family or a townhome, and then the structural non-negotiables like a basement, a garage, or a pool. These 6 data points are gonna let you hone in on the house that you need and thus make your search a lot more narrow and easier to execute on. Now, notice that I didn't mention anything about cosmetics here. The crystal clear criteria focuses on structure alone, because if a house has the most amazing kitchen, but it only has 1.5 baths and you need 2.5 baths, then it doesn't really matter. Once we narrow the homes based on the structural criteria, we can start to filter out for the cosmetics. But if the house doesn't have a basement, you aren't going to be able to easily put one in for cheap the way you're going to be able to upgrade a kitchen countertop once you find the right structural fit. Focus on your needs first and then your wants second to find your dream home. And lastly, give some thought as to your timeline. This is where working with your realtor can be extremely beneficial. We have been through this process hundreds of times and know how to help you plan for it. We can offer advice on little things to get your home ready now to list and advise you on when to start looking for that next home based on your timeline. Because if you know that you want to move a year from now, it won't really help you to see homes on the market today since they're going to be gone 12 months from now. But rather, I could let you know that looking 4 months out at homes in person is going to give you a great sense of the market when that time comes to hone your criteria and start seeing those homes. Because if you know that you want to move a year from now, it won't really help you to see homes on the market today since they're going to be gone 12 months from now. But rather, I could let you know that looking 4 months out at homes in person will give you a sense of the market, time to hone your criteria even further, and set you up to find and get a contract on that perfect home, all in line with your timeline 12 months from now. We could come up with a plan to start decluttering your house a few weeks or months ahead of time to make it less stressful instead of trying to do everything 1 week before we want to go to market. I have literally been to a listing appointment where stuff is scattered everywhere in the home and they want to list the following Wednesday. Let me help you come up with a plan well ahead of time to give you ample time to prepare and what is going to set you up for success. What we realtors want is to get what you want, the best price for the sale of your property and helping you find that dream home and do it all while working on your timeline. That's all I got. If you like this type of content, make sure you like this video and subscribe. And if you want to get started working with me, my team, and my network, buying or selling here in the heart of NJ, I want to invite you to click the first link down below in the description. We would love to have a chat with you about your needs, what you're looking for, and how we can help.